Hey guys, welcome to Have a Drink and Paint. And tonight, keeping in with the December to Remember tradition, we're going to be reviewing a Christmas movie. So tonight, I figured we would do Jack Frost. And mainly because I painted Jack Frost. And the first movie, which to me is the better of them, I guess, if there is such a thing. But the movie starts out with a sheriff in a small town who has captured a serial killer named Jack. And from there, we're treated to a scene of how he captured him, which was pretty silly. Doing an eggnog mix, by the way. Very thick. But the sheriff has captured Jack Frost, and Jack Frost is on his way to his execution already. Which seems like it's moving fast, but for this movie, I guess not really. It's kind of in line with the rest of the movie. No real sense made of it, just kind of is what it is. You want a killer snowman? Here you go. So, Jack Frost ends up killing the guard that's in the back of the prison bus with him. And very shortly after, they get into a wreck with a genetics lab truck, which is hauling a specific gene mutating acid. After the wreck, old Jackie Boy is about to kill the last guard that was on the truck with him when the tanker for the genetics lab explodes, spraying him with acid. He falls in snow. Now we have a killer snowman named Jack Frost.
One cold night, science and evil collide. Oh yeah.
Makes perfect sense. No reason to question it. That's just where we are. After that, we're introduced to Adrienne Barbeau, which most of you might remember from, well, the older of you will remember from Swamp Thing and several other sci-fi horror movies from the 80s. Kind of a known actor. And after that, we're introduced to the sheriff's son, which gets bullied at school. which, if you're the sheriff's son, I would assume you will. I mean, especially if it was nowadays. Can you imagine being a sheriff's child nowadays? Baby narc, do 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 do, baby narc. Anyways, so he obviously gets bullied, and Jack Frost has figured out how to make himself into a snowman, makes himself the sheriff's kid's snowman for some reason. And from there, one of the bullies at school shows up and starts giving him a hard time. And the snowman pushes him down while a sleigh is coming by, and the sleigh cuts his head off. That tells you what kind of movie we're working with at the moment. And after that, the bully's dad is giving the sheriff a hard time, obviously, because he thinks the sheriff's kid just killed his son. And the kid is like, no, the snowman did it. So, that's where we're at with that. And after a few scenes, the dad of the bully and the mom, which is played by a very meek woman, is outside getting a smoke off of a cigar, apparently. And Jack starts taunting him, making jokes and comments, and the dad of the bully doesn't know where it's coming from, because he doesn't know that it's coming from the snowman that's standing in front of him. He seems to be one of the only ones with sense, because he is one of the only ones that isn't like, oh shit, a snowman's here to kill me. So, after that, a few scenes go by, not much to talk about. Pretty simple storyline, snowman killing people. And Shannon Elizabeth, which some of you might know from American Pie, with the topless scene, is also in this movie. And she doesn't do a topless scene in the movie, but she does do a bath scene where she is taking a bath, and Jack Frost is the water because he's melted at this point for some reason. But after he is melted, he brings himself back together while she's taking a bath, and kind of freezes her into his own body, and then takes her and bangs her against a wall till she dies. And then he has this amazing line, looks like Christmas comes early this year. So, I mean, basically, she was banged to death by a snowman. They don't really come out and say it, but at the same time, that's what they're saying. So, it is what it is, I guess. And after that, you kind of get a little backstory into the scientist and the federal agent that kind of knew about this whole thing but kept quiet. And yeah, they're kind of shitty people. They don't really go into too much detail as far as what the point of it was, other than it was supposed to sustain humanity after the end of times, type of thing. And it worked better than they ever thought possible. I'm going to add another ornament here. Shh, you guys didn't see that. Let's just go in there. And, yeah, from there, they end up getting trapped in a jail with Adrian Barbeau, the scientist, the sheriff, the federal agent. Manners is his name. And yeah, after that they come up with a plan, and the plan is basically to force Jack into a boiler room with blow dryers. This is good, but it is just so damn thick. I don't know how good you guys can see that on camera, but goddamn, that's thick. Good though. Merry Christmas. But while they're doing all this blow drying, then they get him into the boiler room. And they succeed for the most part. They get him in there. But after they get him in there, they realize the steam from the boiler is condensating on the windows. And Jack's back. So they try a few different ways. And the agent's never really confirmed dead, but he dies. Or you're led to believe that he dies. The scientist dies, obviously, because he's Frankenstein, so he's got to die. And after that, they kind of run out of options, so they end up getting antifreeze in the bed of a truck. And Jack Frost stabs the sheriff like in the heart with icicles that he's made, which is one of his powers apparently. But even though the icicles don't really do much. And the sheriff ends up running him through a window, out of a second-story window, into the back of the truck, which is filled with antifreeze.
Hell has just frozen over.
And poof, like magic, it's over. And that's pretty much the first movie in a nutshell. I mean, there's not much more you can say about it other than it's not the best movie, but it's also not the worst Christmas movie I've watched this December in going through movies, trying to find out which ones I want to review. Which is kind of why I wanted to do this picture, because it kind of sums it all up. Now, next week for actual Christmas, I'll be doing more of a Christmas Yuletide in your feelings kind of video. But for now, we're doing a horror movie. And horror movies are cheesy. So, I hope you like cheese. All I can say. And we're getting there. So, whenever he jumps into the back of the truck, he goes through this whole thing punching snow and drowning it, which is very cheesy in itself. But whenever the snowman lands on the truck, one of his arms falls outside of the truck. So his son is like, "Hey Dad, you forgot about this arm." And then the arm just immediately wraps around him and wraps around his face and the whole nine. And so his mom grabs him and throws him into the truck, back of the truck with his dad, and shaking paint. And when she does that, the dad just baptizes him into the antifreeze to cleanse the demon from whence it came. But it's a very cheesy, kind of awkward moment in the movie where it's like he's literally baptizing him. If you're led to believe what the movie wants, he's baptizing him in the killer's blood. So, I mean, take for that what you will. But at that point, the movie ends. And poof, like magic, he's done.